Here at Washington College is a place we've been to on a few occasions, and very shortly, I believe next week, it'll begin as far as providing free taxpayer assistance to individuals who need a little help in filling out their income tax forms for both the state and the federal level. And this is real important because both in Washington and in Springfield, we have passed laws to improve the value of important tax relief measures that help everyday people in Illinois. And we want to make sure that everyone who is eligible for these opportunities to get tax relief, get refunds back from both their federal tax return as well as their state tax return, fill out the forms so they can get that relief as quickly as possible. All of the taxpayer assistance that our state funds across Illinois, not only here in Chicago, but the suburbs and downstate. It's all designed to make sure that when folks come in the door, it's free. You don't have to pay a tax preparer. The returns are filed electronically, so you can get your money and refund back as quickly as possible. And this has been something we've been doing for quite some time in Illinois for the past decade. I used to be the state treasurer, and before that, after that, I was the lieutenant governor. Now I'm the governor, and I really believe that the best way to help people get money back from Washington and get money from a tax refund here in the state of Illinois is to make sure you file that return as quickly as you can, make sure that it's accurate, and work with our taxpayer assistants all across Illinois. So we're going to have some of the folks who are working on this. We have some great organizations that have really committed themselves to helping their neighbor. The heart of Illinois, the heart of America, is the heart of a volunteer. And we have lots and lots of volunteers, men and women, out of the goodness of their heart, people who have expertise, volunteer to help their neighbor fill out a tax return, both at the state and federal level. And they've been doing it in many cases for years and years. And it really makes a great deal of difference because we've brought back literally tens of millions of dollars in refunds for parents raising children, for working families, for people who need help the most. And that's why the Earned Income Tax Credit, which began a long time ago, President Ford, President Reagan, President Clinton, President Obama, all of them helped bring forward the Earned Income Tax relief, both the federal level and in Illinois. We passed a law a couple years ago at my behest to improve the value of the taxpayer relief that comes from the Earned Income Tax Credit. We were able to double the value. So we don't want anybody losing that chance to get that refund. And as a matter of fact, when you come through these doors and get taxpayer assistance, if you forgot or didn't know about filling out the forms last year or even the year before last, you can fill out a form now and get tax relief from previous years. And the tax relief is exceptionally important at this time to pay gas bills, health care bills, you name the bill. Lots of families have them after the holidays. So it's really, really important that we get as much tax refund as every citizen is entitled to in Illinois, and that's why our state is so committed to this. We invest in this. We understand that investing in taxpayer assistance pays great dividends for families all across our state, because this taxpayer refund is for families, folks raising kids, working people.
The economy is still tough. A lot of families are struggling. Far too many minimum wage workers, families making under $12, $13 an hour. The typical family that we serve is only making $16,000, $18,000 a year. So when we talk about the Earned Income Tax Credit, which can be as big as $600 at the state level and as big as $6,000 at the federal level, this is a huge amount of money. So we are committed to working with the governor, to working with elected officials all across the state, with our partners at Ladder Up, to make sure that no dollar is left on the table. All of this, as the governor said, is done for free. We operate 15 tax centers throughout the city and the suburbs. We partner with, we're in Springfield as well. We partner with organizations throughout Illinois. We're actually working to bring tax services back to Southern Illinois this year through an organization called Mantricon in Marion. And this is all about bringing the talents, the skills, the engagement of hundreds and hundreds of volunteers to to help, in our case, with the Center for Economic Progress, 20,000 people get their tax returns done this year. So we're very excited. Harold Washington College has been an incredible site for us. We've worked with President Don Lockman and all the staff here. Last year served over 4,000 people. This year, the center at Harold Washington College, which opens next Tuesday, will be open all the way through April 15th, every Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. and also on Saturdays. So we're going all day in order to help people out. So a few other quick things just to highlight. It's about the Earned Income Tax Credit, it's about the Child Tax Credit, it's about the American Opportunity Tax Credit, which people can use to help fund higher education, to attend colleges like Harold Washington College or the city colleges. But it's also about not having to pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars to a paid tax preparer. So this year we anticipate with the IRS and all of our partners, I think, and groups like Ladder Up and Center for Economic Progress, 90,000 households, I think, will benefit across the state from free tax help. So we're pleased to be in the middle of that. We're also partnering with credit unions and banks to open up accounts at tax time. We anticipate more than 1,000 people who otherwise would be unbanked, who would have to get that check mailed to them and then take it to a currency exchange and pay a lot of money for it, will open up accounts at tax time and be able to get their refund direct deposited. So again, very pleased to be here. Just very quick comment, the number for people to call if you want to find out about the Center for Economic Progress and our services is 312-252-0280, or visit us at economicprogress.org.
Well, we want to thank Governor Quinn for his longstanding support of working families in the state of Illinois. The doubling of the state's earned income tax credit that you referenced earlier means more money for eligible Illinois families to pay those bills, to provide for their families to save for the future, and these, of course, are dollars that are spent locally. So it's really helping to build up our businesses as well. Along with the Center for Economic Progress, Ladder Up does provide free tax help at locations across the city and in the suburbs. We offer, of course, free federal and state tax return preparation, free e-file. If people want to do direct deposit, they can do that as well. Of course, that's the fastest way to receive your refund, because we know in these challenging times, every dollar counts, and we don't believe that you should pay for something that you can get for free, done with the help of trained volunteers. Ladder Up has over 1,000 volunteers who are helping to staff 19 service locations across the area. So we would really urge Illinois residents to think about ways that they can save money at tax time by visiting one of our free tax sites. Certainly, you heard the number for the Center for Economic Progress. Those interested in learning more about Ladder Up tax sites can call 312-409-1555. So we really do want to encourage people to think about, again, visiting those tax sites and saving money on something that can amount to $150, $200, $250 in commercial tax preparation fees. So thank you very much, Governor Quinn, for supporting organizations like ours to offer this free tax
Well, you know, one thing you said, Christine, that needs repetition is that for every dollar back in these tax refunds, that money is spent locally. Folks who get those refunds don't admire the money in the bank vault. They go out and spend it in the community, creating other jobs. I think the study is for every dollar of the earned income tax credit, another $1.60 is spent in creating new employment and economic growth in the neighborhood. So we really want to get people paying attention to the opportunity. It's 409-1555. That's your phone number,
correct,
right?
yes.
Okay, so we want to make sure your volunteers are fired up and ready to go.
Absolutely.
Okay?
VITA is what IRS officially calls the tax preparation program. So, you know, I'm going to throw out some numbers at you just so you get a sense of the extent of service that's provided here in Illinois. In 2013, David undercounted a little bit, but there were over 98,000 tax returns prepared through this program. In 2013, we had over 300 free tax preparation sites here in the state of Illinois. Approximately 190 of those sites were sites that served primarily seniors, and we had about another 115 or so sites that served low-income individuals, which this program is primarily targeted towards. From those 98,300 returns that were prepared in 2013, there were over $100 million in refunds that came back here to the state of Illinois. This is across the state. It's not focused just here in northern Illinois, but this is across every county in the state. Just so you understand, you know, we've talked a lot about the earned income tax credit here today. Last year, there were about 1 million EITC returns filed here in Illinois. And those 1 million returns resulted in over $2.4 billion in refunds. The average EITC refund in 2013 here in Illinois was approximately about $2,300. So as the governor has said, and the other partners here have said today, for low-income individuals, $2,300 is a nice chunk of change. And as the governor said, you know, this money is used in the community. It doesn't sit in a bank vault. It's been years since I've actually seen a bank vault. But, you know, this is money that is, you know, coming back to the state, is coming back to local communities. You know, our goal at the IRS this year is to get over that 100,000 return mark. And I think with the efforts of the governor, the efforts of our VITA partners throughout the state, that we will be able to reach that goal. So thank you again, and thank you, Governor, for your support.
Well said.